I'm here with astronomer Jan Fiolka from CRANBROOK Observatory here in Louisville, Michigan. We're about to do an interview and we're going to go over some of the nice equipment that he has on the telescope, but this is more about the astronomy. This is more about the astronomer's passion and growth from, as a child or in the novice stages of astronomy to grow to be in the position Jan is in today. So we ask him a few questions and have a little quirkiness at the end. So here we go. Now, first thing, tell me your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name's Jan Fiolka and I originate from England. So I moved here about 30 years ago. So when I go to England, they think I'm from here. So they don't pick up the English accent, but I think I'm still kind of roughly there.
Okay, yeah. So what age did you start astronomy?
Yeah, I started at 5 years old.
Wow.
My mom would buy me books on any subject. So I might get a book on ladybirds one week, on insects another week, on world capitals another week, and then one week she just decided to buy me a book on astronomy, right? Just a simple kid's book, and I just really got into it, kind of like you, Sam. And they got that natural interest, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I got started with a kid's book at the age of 5.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now, what size was your first telescope?
The very first one was a 4.5-inch reflector. So I actually belong to an astronomical society in the UK. Somebody had given it to one of the members to sell. So when I came to the meeting, there was this beautiful telescope sitting there, and it was for sale. So I, gave all my pocket money. My mom and dad really supported me in my interests. So everyone clubbed together to buy this telescope. So that was it.
It will break the funds, and that's for sure.
Yes.
Around the first time I started, I think I had like a 4-inch refractor telescope. Just a simple refractor. No, it was a 3-inch.
A 3-inch.
3-inch.
Okay.
Just it was still a pretty nice telescope.
Oh yeah.
For what it was. It was just on an azimuth mount.
Okay.
So I'm kind of limited on polar alignment and things like that.
Yeah.
But like when I first started, I already know how it is. It will break you because you want a bigger telescope. Then you want a bigger telescope.
Yes. Aperture.
You get this one and you see something larger than this.
Right.
How did I get it?
That's it. They call that aperture fever, don't they?
Yeah.
You have to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's what they call it.
Aperture fever, yeah.
Okay.
But then there's another golden rule that the best telescope is the one that you use the most often. So, you might get this enormous telescope, but because it takes you 2 hours to set it up, never mind. But one that you can just, like that, and you're away, that's really the best kind of telescope. Yeah, so the biggest isn't necessarily the best. If it takes 2 hours to set it up, you might be tempted to say, never mind, you just want to go out for 20 minutes, and it takes you 2 hours to put it together, you might not want to do that.
That's true, especially if you have to do it every night.
Yeah.
Now, give us a little history here about the CRANBROOK Observatory. I see that there's an older telescope.
Yes.
And so you have the newer telescope mounted right now. So what's the history there?
History, right. Well, this particular building dates from 1930, and this is really where CRANBROOK Institute of Science got started. So this is ground zero for CRANBROOK Institute of Science. So this main structure dates from 1930. So all this ironwork you see there.
Whoa.
93 years old, and still going strong.
That's some tough stuff.
It is, yeah. So the original telescope was located near Lone Pine Road, under the schools there. And the telescope that you refer to that was here since 1930 got started over near Lone Pine Road. But the environment's not very good there. The traffic caused vibrations. So
messes up the image.
it does, yeah. So the telescope will be shaking and that. So that's how it got relocated here. So this is the original mount that also dates from 1930. So when this was installed, 2012, This is so solid that it didn't even need to be
That's solid.
changed.
That's solid.
That goes right down into the floor. So
That is solid.
it is. So this is original equipment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the original telescope that was born in 1928.
Wow.
So that was a 6-inch refractor, which maybe you get some shots of it.
Yeah, I will. It started raining a little hard.
I hope the sound is okay.
Yeah.
Very noisy up here.
Oh, I already know. It's pretty noisy. Don't everything, but
Yeah.
I believe you'll still get a good interview. Now, I wanted to ask you, the setup you have.
Yeah.
Tell me something about your cameras, filter wheel. I see that we have the ZWOE FW filter wheel.
Yeah.
Not sure what model is this?
Yeah, the electronic filter.
Wow.
That's CWO as well.
So tell us about some of the equipment that you got.
All right. Well, yeah, really, there are 3 telescopes here, so it's not just a telescope, there are 3. And this facility could actually be running 24 hours a day if the weather conditions permitted it. Because not only do we have telescopes that we can use at night, but we've also got this one that we can use in the daytime. So this big one here, this is a 20-inch, what's called a CDK, it's a corrected Dog Kurgan. So a bit of a mouthful, but this employs mirrors and lenses. And it's a very compact telescope. It's also made of carbon fiber, so it's not as heavy as what a metal telescope would be. At least, this part that surrounds the mirror. So the light comes in, bounces off this big mirror, goes back up the tube, and then bounces back from another mirror, and comes right through to where this camera is. So as you say, as you say, it's a CWO 6200. So this is only about 5 weeks old. It's a brand new camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We used to have another camera, an Ultra camera, that was a 16 megapixel camera. So it's made by Apogee. It's a much older camera, which is also nice. These pictures, like you see here.
From that.
Actually, not this one. That's
try to zoom in this.
Yeah, this picture here, and also this one here. These are just a couple of examples of photos I've taken using that telescope. So it's a very good camera, even the one we had before, right? And then, this telescope's very powerful, so you can see I can't even get this whole galaxy in the picture.
Yeah.
Even though it's 2.5 million light years away, it's still too close for this telescope, right?
Big scope to get.
Yes, So once again, sometimes it's better to go small, and the biggest telescope isn't always the best,
Yeah.
So that's why I bring my camera and attach it to the other telescope, which is a 6-inch, and then that allows you to get a much larger field of view, so you can get these other, it's not bad, through this. Yeah.
Wow.
So that brings us on to this other telescope. So that's the big one here, and this one has always got a camera attached to it, so we can't look through it visually.
Right.
So that's the first telescope. The second one is this Takahashi that you see sitting on top. So this one's made in Michigan. The Takahashi is made in Japan. And that's also a 6-inch refractor. And this is the one that we can also allow visitors to look through. So it's not just permanently set up with a camera like this one. It also is, a visual telescope, so you can look right through it.
Yeah.
So, if you Friday night, during the summertime, 8:30 to 10, you could actually come here and take a look through that telescope or whatever's around in the night sky. If we have good weather.
Good weather for a large telescope is very important.
Very important,
You see it very closely.
That's right, yes.
Atmosphere is certainly really good.
Can do,
Heat waves and stuff.
Right.
Because I deal with a problem in my observatory is in the wintertime.
Yes.
It's the best sky.
It is.
It's cold.
But
I have a problem with heat waves coming from boilers and
right.
So heat waves are rising.
Yeah.
Maybe watching Mars or
Yeah.
Jupiter or something.
Yeah.
I'm getting like this wavy pattern, and like it'll happen and it clean up real nice.
Right.
And all of a sudden it,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Just so an instant it clears up and then it's off again, right? So, yeah. So yeah, it's something I fight with here too. In fact, the museum is my enemy kind of, because when the entrance to the museum's open, either the heat comes up here or the AC, you know.
Oh god.
And of course, when it's not raining, we have this door that opens up to allow the telescope to point out of, and the heat and the AC just want to go right out that door where the telescope's pointing.
Oh right.
Yeah.
It always finds a way to escape.
Yes, it
right
does.
there out of the
Yeah.
from the,
Right, so when I'm taking photos like those, I have to make sure the museum doors are closed, because we don't want that air coming up here. And then I have to open the windows. We got some windows around here.
Oh yeah.
So I
So
think
you get here, just disperse of it kind of in a better fashion than going in front of your telescope.
Yeah. So I think this is the only room where you open the windows when it's 0 degrees outside.
She know I'm in the observatory, especially like when it's cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm out with my telescope. I feel the same pain as my telescope. I like to say so. I'm out there working, sitting down, going through my images, making sure I'm guiding correctly.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I got another question.
Yes.
Here at CRANBROOK, have there been any major discoveries from this facility here?
Nah, not yet. No. But when I'm here, I do what's called a supernova patrol, where we'll hop from one galaxy to another, looking for supernovae, which are stars that explode and end in their lives. And because they're exploding, they suddenly become many times brighter than what they originally were. So when you do a supernova patrol, you're looking for dots that shouldn't be there. You know, like this picture, for example, is from right here. If I was to see a bright dot right there, that might be a clue that that's a supernova, because you look at other pictures of this, there is no dot there, and suddenly there's this big bright dot. So that is a place where a star just blew up.
I tried to tell one of my friends that, so he's from Quebec, and he was taking a picture of the Rosette Nebula.
Yes.
And he sent me like some of his subs of the Rosette Nebula, and I was like, hey, you know, on one of these there's a star that wasn't there before. And he was like, oh no, you know, it's probably like a satellite or something. I said, how long is the exposure?
Yeah.
He said 5 minutes. I said, anything that's moving in a 5 minute, it's just no. I said, somebody just lost their star right there. Somebody will probably because somebody lost their star. You know, but that's how. And okay, when on let's say supernova patrol, what programs do you use?
Right.
Guiding an image.
For guiding, I use what's called SkyX Professional, which is on this left monitor over here. So that is actually the software that guides the telescope. You can go through it. It runs the dome, also the camera as well. We control from there. So that's the main software that I use. But then the imaging software is called Maxim DL6. Which if you're familiar with that one, but
I heard of it. It's not free.
No. I actually broke down and bought it for my own laptop at home. There's $500 subscription for that. But without that, I had to sit up here on my own processing the images when I could be at home in nice, comfortable, warm environments. So I figured it was worth spending the money, so I could do my processing at home rather than sitting up here.
That's true. Now, what do you use? What programs do you use to process your images? Now, I use this bare bones PIPP to drop the videos into to stabilize. And then I use AutoStacker to stack my images. And I use Registax for final image sharpening. And I might use GIMP or because I can't afford Photoshop right now, but I might use GIMP to like kind of fine tune the colors and things like that. What do you use to process your photo?
Actually, Maxim DL does it all. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop. type software.
Worth 500.
Yeah, Worth 500, where you can take the pictures, you can stack them, and you can also fine tune them as well, process them. And then sometimes I use Photoshop as well for some of the little finishing touches, like a nice black sky that you see on my pictures. You know that we don't have black skies around here.
Yeah.
So you got to use Photoshop to get that kind of like, nice dark sky to make it look cool.
To make it pop. Really
Yeah.
back to get the light.
Yeah.
Highlights sometimes.
That's pop. That's right. And then recently I'm using something called Deep Sky Stacker.
I use Deep Sky Stacker. It's a nice program. Like you just drop all of the light frames, calibration frames into it.
Yeah.
They just set it to let it know what calibration frames are.
Right.
Do the star count.
Right.
And let it run.
Yeah.
Like I love Deep Sky
Oh,
Stacker
yeah.
actually.
The best thing is the best thing is it's free as well. So,
Deep Sky Stacker is
Yeah,
it's a
it's
pretty
free.
good program.
Right. And then the other one I just invested in is Pixel side.
Oh yeah, my friend uses it.
Yeah, that's a $200 program, so once again you have to like, you don't really want to spend that much, but again it's kind of like this one software does all correctly.
Yeah.
So you can stack your photos.
Astrophotography.
Right.
Now, some people that will be watching are astrophotographers. Sometimes they have issues with calibration frames.
Right.
The darks, right? The darks and the flats, bias frames.
Right.
Okay. Give us a few tips on getting the best calibration frames as far as temperature and exposure.
Right.
And things to use, especially for flats, because that's most people's problem is getting a good flat frame.
That's right.
Because like the sun may not always be available.
Right.
Good, nice, deep blue lit sky.
Sure.
And sometimes people try to use lights and things like that.
Yes.
And it causes trouble with the calibration frames.
Sometimes.
What do you think is if using light? What do you think is a good light to use?
Yeah, well, on Amazon, you can get these light pads that are really designed for tracing, but they're actually kind of like a large rectangular LED light. And as long as it covers your main telescope front, where the lens is, that's good enough to have as a light source. Some people, they use a t-shirt, right, a white t-shirt, and put
That's
that
me.
over. That's you, yeah.
Or a sheet.
Or a sheet, yeah, because then that spreads the light evenly, right?
Yeah.
But this light pad that is actually very good to give a nice all-round uniform color that you can then do the light frames from. But they have to be done at the same temperature, or the flats I should say, they have to be done at the same temperature as the actual light images. And also, you have to kind of set the amount of time that it takes for each one to around half of what your pixel value is, the 0 to 65,000. So you want to set it to around 33,000.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So, without going into the software in detail, and if you you have to kind of look at the information window to see
On your camera.
Yeah,
To
to
kind of-
see where your flats are falling. So they want to be like in the middle of that 0 to 65,000 scale.
Right.
And then if you do use filters, so you have to have flats for each filter. So reds, blue, greens, you have to do flats for each of them.
Oh,
Roughly about 20 flats per filter.
And that's a lot, like if you're doing RGB,
Oh, yeah.
that's a lot of work.
It is.
Luckily for the filter wheel, that kind
Right.
of helps you change the filter.
It does.
Right, I mean, before, they used to have filter wheels, but I mean, to have to change the filter just manually.
Right.
It just, planetary images.
Right.
Really funky trying to do it like that.
That's
You
right.
have to break your time down into a finer period of time where
Yes.
what
Yeah.
you need. Now, I want to talk about planetary imaging. Do you do any planetary imaging? As far as like imaging Jupiter, Mars.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, I do. And that's when you were talking about PIPP and Registax.
Yes.
I'm very familiar with those because those are the same programs I use. So let's see. We have this one right here.
Ooh, it's a clean set. Wow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was taken through the Takahashi.
Oh, that's
personal
cool.
camera, yeah, and you know, stacked in Registax and PIP and AstroStacker 3. If you use that one.
Oh, now that.
Yeah, try that one.
I'll try that.
Yeah, AstroStacker 3. So there's some good YouTube videos on how to do that. Some people actually prefer that
Is it a
over.
program?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's also free as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll go with free anytime.
Yeah. Especially for right now. So,
Right.
That's more to the hobby.
Yes.
Now, okay. When do you ever use the larger telescope for hunting?
I've tried it, but
You haven't gotten a good enough night.
Well, no, the image is so tiny because I can't magnify that telescope, so it's so minuscule, you know, that it's not even worth using. So, you know, I prefer to use the refractor actually for planetary imaging.
Because you can add a barlow.
Exactly. You can add a barlow, and then you put your camera in, and that makes a bigger image, right?
Yeah.
But the other telescope that we didn't talk about that I also do imaging is this one here, the third telescope. This is a solar telescope. So I use the same programs that I use for planetary photography to get an image like this one here.
Show
So
this one right here.
this is actually the sun with this telescope. So normally, of course, you'd be normally you'd be instantly blinded if you were to look at the sun with a telescope. So you must never do that. But this telescope here is actually designed to look at the sun. So it's got permanent filters inside to protect your eyes.
What kind of filters are in it?
Yeah, hydrogen alpha filters.
H alpha.
H alpha, yeah.
So that will protect your eyes.
Exactly. So there are multiple filters inside protecting your eyes. And then we just spent $2,000 on this double stack unit. So this is a double stack solar telescope, which allows even better views of the surface, which is what double stack is really geared for. So let's see if this picture. So this one here is actually
a lot of the chromosphere action right there.
Right. You can see the prominence. They kind of almost have like a three-dimensional view. So and that's a reverse image, right? So by making the sun dark and the sky bright, it often will bring out more details on the surface.
Is that?
Yeah. I know, it's a great technique. You know, one day I saw this invert in Photoshop. What does that do? And it's like, whoa, you know?
Oh, I can see everything now.
Yeah. And then when I read up about it, that's a kind of a common effect to use.
It's like a little trick to use to kind of bring out more detail.
Right, so I guess others have been using it all the time, but for me it was like an accidental discovery. It's like, what does invert do? Like, whoa, suddenly you see all that
with the
detail.
programs, you can find anything.
Yeah, you can.
You can find anything.
So, you know, that was neat to suddenly see all that detail. But then this double stack solar telescope gives you much more detail at the surface. So, you know, you can see these prominences almost taking on a three-dimensional appearance.
And they like jump out at you.
Yeah, they jump out at you. Yeah, you can see it's kind of like coming up like that.
And it's kind of creepy because you get a chance to see another world that's much more dangerous than anything you know of.
Yes.
A big nuclear reactor.
Exactly.
You know, right there. It's almost like it's right there in your hands. Like you can control it.
Right. 600 million tons of hydrogen being fused into helium. So nuclear fusion every second.
Every second of a finger.
Every second.
Yeah.
600 million tons of hydrogen.
That's a lot. That's a lot of fuel to burn.
It is.
It's the sun.
It is.
Now we'll get to the last question.
Okay.
Now for the quirkiness part of it, because I'm pretty sure everybody wants to know what you think about it. Extraterrestrial life. How do you feel about just extraterrestrial life, period? Do you feel it's here? Do you feel maybe, they could be hiding among us? Do you feel we have not been discovered yet? Tell me your thoughts on that.
Right. There just has to be extraterrestrial life, just the sheer numbers. And sometimes when I take these pictures, it kind of really brings that point home. All these different galaxies that I've taken pictures of.
Yeah.
Really brings that home. That there just has to be other life out there.
Billions of stars, even in our own galaxy alone.
This one galaxy here has 1 trillion stars in it. So 1 million suns just in that one galaxy. And astronomers say that there are more galaxies in the universe than there have ever been people living on the surface of the planet Earth. So imagine this is one galaxy has 1 trillion suns in it. So how can our sun be the only one to have planets with life on it?
Yeah.
And I think we're definitely inching closer to finding that. When I was doing this as a kid, we didn't even know that there were other planets going around other stars, right?
Yeah.
Exoplanets. We kind of guessed, but it was kind of more assumption. But now you imagine we found 5,500 exoplanets, and now we're finding Earth-like worlds, super Earths, planets just like Earth.
That is really amazing.
Yeah, so
and they pick it up pretty
right.
at the moment.
They are. Yeah, and then we found water vapor on other planets' atmospheres.
Even moons too.
Yes. The
moons with this solar system.
Exactly. Yeah, you think of Enceladus.
Yeah.
Also Europa. Titan, possibly. Yeah. Definitely Enceladus and Europa.
Enceladus,
because they have the ocean interior, right? That's kind of thought of to be like bath water, basically, in temperature.
Wow.
So conditions might be just right for life there. Yeah. So that's in our solar system. Here we're talking about other galaxies having trillions of stars in them. So I think we're definitely inching closer to finding out for sure.
Yeah.
So like I said, the discovery of water vapor in other planets' atmospheres
is already a sign.
It's another step forward, right? We're like inching closer.
Some of these biosignatures can only be created by forms of life.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's when they start to pick up on that. It's
right.
There may be something there because Mars is known as red and dead for the longest period of time. But it's still suspected that there's still volcanic activity.
Yes.
There's still, now, in order for there to be a wind or dust devils, there have to be something there that's kind of, keeping that wind alive.
Yeah, it has this environment, doesn't it, with weather, and there's clouds, dust devils, as you say. So it's got this
weird trenches and gullies that water may run through there at one time.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Could be still underneath.
Well, no, there is. There's enough water under the surface of Mars to cover the whole planet with an ocean 100 feet deep. So that's how much water there is there. 100-foot deep ocean over the entire planet. That's how much water is estimated there. And some of it is very close to the surface. And that's been shown by spacecraft that have landed there. The blast from the jets as a spacecraft is landing has actually blown away the dust to reveal the ice right underneath.
Oh, wow. Isn't that really exciting?
Yeah.
And a lot of these things, you can't just get out of a space documentary. You really have to talk to an astronomer that's in the field to get these kind of details.
Yeah.
I know sometimes astronomers do have an issue with the press and everything because they have a tendency to sometimes put out a story too quickly. And the scientists may not be, exact with the discovery and things like that. They just say, oh yeah. And they go, wait, that's not what I said. I didn't say, oh man, let's go and tell them that we have to do everything all over again. But this has been a very nice interview.
Oh.
There has to be a part 2.
Please.
We are going to do a part 2.
Bring it on, because I really enjoyed talking.
And it would be nice, maybe next time, possibly bring a couple of people, interested in astronomy.
Yes.
Maybe, hopefully, have a couple of students from another school to come up here.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be a great experience for them.
Sure. Yeah.
Not everybody gets a chance to use a large telescope.
Right, exactly.
That would be a nice experience for them.
Yeah, I'd be delighted to.
I'm really
Yeah, you bet, Shannon. It was great.
Thank you so much.
And our great camera lady Jessica as well. Doing a fine job
Thank
there
you,
as well.
Jessica. Yay!